Leo.
Hello Leo, this is your February forecast for 2017 and this is a month of relationships for you. This is where the sun is transiting through your 7th house. So anything partnership, whether that is with your significant other or it could be anybody that you work with closely, one-on-one, this is where the energy is going to transform itself and also come across with a lot of charisma. And that's something you have tons of, Leo. Now, Venus is in Pisces. That is in your 8th house. And this is where Venus was working all last month, there of January. So you have until February 3rd to make the most of it. That is you having looked over your savings, your retirement income, perhaps royalties, commissions, looking at your investments. Do you need to change your accounts or whatnot? It could be stocks and so forth. But now Venus, after the 3rd, will be moving into the 9th house to join the crowd of Mars, which is there, Mars and Uranus. That means that your whole focus is going to be shifting on higher consciousness, the way you think of the world in the overall large picture, but also having to do with foreign people and places and travel, long distance travel. You might get that itch to book some tickets and go somewhere. And even if you can't go right away, Leo, it could be a great time for you to just start checking out travel vacation destinations for destinations for where you might want to go later on this summer, for example. I can see how your passion is there. Venus is really wanting to experience, so you might just be quite the armchair traveler this month of February, wanting to get out of the dark and the cold for those of you living up north, right? But the 9th house is more than just that. If you're working on any kind of lawsuit, if you're applying for a visa, green card, that kind of thing will show up here in this area because it really rules the law. And so you could come to see that things will start speeding up for you because both planets are direct, so they're just going to charge through here very quickly. And then some of you might even be thinking about wanting to go back to school to finish your degree. This would be the time that you could make those decisions, maybe taking on a class or a course. In that case, 9th house has everything to do with our spiritual self, like the 12th house. Or multidimensional self. How can we grow spirit in the overall view of life and our course of why we're here? Both Mars and Venus and Uranus especially has been ticking away here for a long time. Uranus is all about that higher spiritual self. This month you will come to see how when both Venus and Mars shortly will be connecting, that's going to be the key in the door. That switch will give you that enlightenment. We always want to think of Uranus as enlightenment, and it's been working on you here at least for the last couple of years. So more and more you're starting to see how everything is connected into one. Having Venus and Mars here right now, just watch the way you think. This is the area of our ways to have philosophy, right? To look at that overall view. We also do have Mercury, which has been working in your health department. It has been working on dieting. Of course, we just had all the holidays, all that extra food and whatnot. And Mercury retrograde there has pretty much put you back on this path that you have been thinking perhaps of wanting to either start a diet or work out. That's the 6th house. But the 6th house is also your daily routine. But now Mercury is picking up speed, all right, and it will shortly move into your 7th house of relationship, join the sun there, so more communication between you and your partner as February progresses will become even more so important. Speaking of the moons this month, we have some eclipses. We've got 2 eclipses going on. We have a lunar eclipse, we've got a solar eclipse. The full moon here, 11th of February, will be the lunar eclipse. We have the solar eclipse there on February 26th. So that new moon is 8 degrees in Pisces, which shows up in your 8th house. The full moon will be in your first house this month, Leo, so you can come to see that something about you, your personality, your path will be illuminated. Take that full stage. But more on these eclipses on a dedicated special video that you will see at the end of this video. You can just click and go into it for more information and detail. Jupiter, I'd like to mention also, is turning retrograde this month from February 6th and will be through June 10th. And Jupiter, though, is not a difficult planet to have retrograde. It brings situations, people, and places back from the past, especially for you. Having the area of the third house also represents neighbors and siblings, your community. When Jupiter slows down, it gives you extended time to look at how you can improve these areas. Work with it. Maybe thoughts, ideas that you had in the past can now actually find place and time to come forward to surface so that they're workable. Because when Jupiter is direct, moving quickly, there's so many impressions and so many opportunities, we can't really reach and embrace them all, can we? Right? So when it's retrograde, pay attention to what can come and resurface from the past. This is the time for acting upon those things. As we start off, top of the month though, there might be difficulties as far as not necessarily communication, but some agreements. Mercury is not aligned at its best, neither to Uranus or to Jupiter. So if you're needing to express, to bring things up, maybe somebody's bringing a special issue up for you. Well, in that case, then just let it be, listen, chat for now, but don't find any finalized agreements. It's much better as we progress throughout the month. Mercury is going to be strengthening as she moves into your 7th house, which is really that one-on-one communication. And you'll see as she gets down to some beautiful transits a little later in the month. Venus, like I said, will be ingressing, moving into the sign of Aries from Pisces. So it's been in this very creative area of your chart. You've been extra emotional, romantic maybe there in January, but now it's all about action. Now it's about what you want to do, what your focuses are, new goals that you're going to be setting for yourself. I feel that you're super excited about it. On the 7th, Mercury will move into your partnership house. This is going to allow you for the month to interact, communicate, deepen with those important issues that you and your partner might have between you, coming to agreement on several things. That whole week, they're from the 9th straight through the 16th, are back-to-back great transits, which is going to allow you to speak from the heart, share from the heart, knowing that it's safe to do so. Why? Because I'm seeing it's being received in a very serious way. This is also you being able to receive from your partner whatever is important to him or her. The Sun and Jupiter are meeting up on one of its annual trips. Actually, this trine to Jupiter happens only twice a year. So it's one of the luckier days of the year besides the conjunction. That is the 11th. Great news coming in. The 14th also, I feel that agreements can be signed and negotiated and perfected to the T. Because on the 16th, I see action. This is your Mercury, your linear way of communicating and thinking, being taken action upon from Mars. The alignment is great. I see you just being super excited because your energy, your physical energy is up, your mental energy is up, your emotional energy is all up. When they're all aligned like this, and especially like when the Sun now is going to move into Pisces on the 18th, that is bringing the Sun now into the shared resources between you and your partner, making it more intimate, personal, romantic, sharing everything that you have laid now in your foundation up towards the 18th. This is when you're going to start absorbing and feeling that interrelation. 21st through the 22nd, I feel that again, communication. Mercury's super strong this month, really picking up a lot of aspects to other planets. Here we have some unexpected news coming in. I feel it's going to put a smile on your face on the 21st, because also there's generosity here. Jupiter coming in with Uranus. Now that's a happy, unexpected insight or news that you will have or give to somebody. Jupiter coming from your third house too, which is also enhancing even more so communication. Might also come from a distance, travel and whatnot. But the only red flag this month is Mars and Pluto when they hit up here against the wall, against each other. These two forces can move mountains, and you know, you've heard me talk about that in the past. But when they square off, it can release a volcano. Now, we know just globally we have a lot of active volcanoes going on. This would be one of those dates where we can have a volcano watch. But emotionally, it's the same thing within us when all dormant energies have been stifled, suppressed, and suddenly now this pressure just wants a release. So stay away from power-hungry people. You can come to encounter them because it's a global aspect. So both you and I and everybody else, no matter where we are on this planet, will have this square. So we might just feel that our fuses are a little short. We can be more, hot-tempered, more reactive, acting without thinking. We might be speeding down that highway. I mentioned that in the other videos too, because Mars is so driven. It's in the sign of Aries, so speed, right? You might be speeding down that highway, not looking at the speedometer, and here is the police. So watch out for any tickets getting at that time too. Then it will pass. It's only a couple of days. The influence will be there. But the 23rd, I can feel here that you may be speaking with somebody of importance. Saturn is in the picture. Saturn is the taskmaster, for one. But it's also you and your knowledge, your knack and your know-how. The wisdom that you hold is going out. So you might be giving a speech, a presentation. If so, you'll do excellent. If you're needing to talk to a superior, say a boss, or a parent about something very important, well then, Saturn represents that too. And again, I can see it's a great day to have a serious talk and go get somewhere with it. Mercury is going to be moving out of Aquarius and into Pisces here on the 25th. For you, that is great. You've had this near whole month with your partner and communication and sharing thoughts and processes and so forth. But now it's all about how do we work it? How do we integrate it? The 8th house is about sharing, right? And so this is a time of intimacy where we go deeper with what we have just come to realize. 27th, it is a day of action, unexpected twists and turns. Mars and Uranus might bring to the table a revelation that you didn't really count on, but I feel it could be good. There is also decisions to be made here on the 27th because this same Mars, which is conjuncted Uranus, is opposing Jupiter. And so you might need to make a swift decision. For you, these energies will play out between the 3rd and the 9th house. So 3rd house being communication, 9th house having to do with higher education, travel, maybe the law, like if you're looking for any kind of licensing, higher education, visas, green cards, publication, that kind of thing. So on this day, you might need to make a move in any one direction that can release the beginning of, okay? So there's an initiation here that can just propel you there into March, which we'll talk more about next month. This aspect is still going to be quite active when we start off the beginning of March. But now you can listen to your moon and rising sign, and you can see this little video here about the solar eclipses and the lunar eclipse of February, so you can see how it's going to affect you a little bit more in detail, right? So listen guys, this is what I have right now, and I